Hello everyone, and a very happy new year to everyone. So from today, we are going to be building weekly projects, and I just wanted to kickstart this year with a very simple project, which is calculator application. I know it's not hard project, but from every weekend I will be putting an project video on this channel from now on. So yeah, let me just give you a demo, like introduction about this project. So it's a simple calculator project which will have like obviously calculation functionalities, but it's not going to be like one of those projects where we take the input from the client of two inputs and then we perform the actions. Rather than it would be like a day-to-day application that we use, like for example where we can like put series of what do you call it, input, not input but an expression, like for example 2 plus 5 plus 3 divided by 15 minus whatever however long we want to put, we can put that. And then as soon as we click on equal sign, it will give us the result in a correct format, right? So that's what we are going to be building, and the technology that we are going to be use is going to be very simple. I'm trying to keep it very simple, which is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, nothing fancy. And second thing is, this project I'm not going to just teach you about, because I know that you can build a calculator if you want on your own also, but rather than we were going to be solving this problem in a way where like I will give you a problem statement. Like for example, we won't be talking about UI and all of these things too much. Rather than we will go step by step, like how would you approach it. Like for example, if it was like 30 years ago somebody told you write a application, like write a calculator application, so how would you approach it? From that point of view we will build that. And what else is there? So I think that's it. That's all I wanted to tell you, and let's jump into the project, right? Okay. Okay. Okay, so I have built this calculator folder where I have built three files: index.html, main.js, and styles.css. For now, you can forget about index.html and style.css. We will focus on JavaScript. And also, one more thing, I will link the GitHub repository in the comment or in the description, so you can download it and you can match the solution for your reference. But the main idea that so the first idea is that I can write every line of code along the way, and also I will explain it to you while I'm writing it. But I think this will take so much time. Instead, what I'm thinking is that a better way would be is to I will build the project. For example, here I have already built this project for like I was testing it before I'm recording it, so I've tested it. In that way, what I am going to do is I will explain every line of code, because I don't have to write it. So I will focus more on explaining it to you, that why did I do it and what could have been done and why did I choose this way also. So I think that would be more less time consuming. Like it will take less time, and also you will get more benefit right that way. And and if you get stuck somewhere, you already have this reference GitHub repository where I will put in a description, so you can always go there, and you can match the solution, like what is it that you are doing wrong. And that logical part is very important. So I this is an experiment, so I don't know if it will be successful or not. But in this video, I will be doing that second approach, where I will explain you the solution, and why am I doing that way, and how am I approaching it. And also I will explain it to you every line of code also. Okay, but I don't write it with you. Okay, so that's the thing that I wanted to tell you. And yeah, with that being said, let's start. So uh, think about this way. Forget about this UI and calculator, anything. Think about it that if I tell you, let me just go back to the icon screen. So forget about everything, like we need to build calculator or anything. Just think about a simple problem. JavaScript, right? And you know how to make functions, right? So if I tell you that I will be giving you an expression. Expression meaning like there in a string format. Like for example, I will give you an 2 plus 5 plus 3 plus 4, something like this. If I give it to you, and if I ask you like just give me the result, like after adding all of these things, what will be the output of them. So just give me that. Solve this problem only. You don't have to worry about UI and all of this style thing. Just think about this way, that you will be getting an expression and you need to solve it. That's it. That's the problem statement. So we will start like this. Okay. So let's go to the code and I will explain in more detail. So let's go to driving. So for example, think about this way. Where is the text? Here. So think about this. You will get something like this: 4 plus 5 plus 6, and this is a string expression like this. So you will take this as an input in a function, and you will evaluate it. Like, you will do the logic part. Like, you will perform the operations, and you will give me the result. That's it. That's the problem that we are going to solve. So in order to solve that problem, we need to first understand how we are going to solve it, and the way we are going to solve it. First thing is, let me put it there so that it's visible, and let me make it big. Okay, so that's this kind of like expression you will get. Now the first thing is this. This is a string. Holy shit. Where's the laser pointer? This is a string. So if we, like, how would I even know? Like, for example, if I say that this is 22 to 1 and this is 41, I need to somehow make sure that this is 2 to 1 is together plus 41. But if I just loop through it, then how would I know, like, how from where to where this is a single string, right? Like, there might be somewhere, like, for example, 5 is single content. So we have to take care of this case. At first problem is this. So we need to somehow make an array which will make them individual. Like, for example, this will be an individual thing. Like, this number is entire number will be one what do you call, token, we can say token, and this plus will be another token, this 41 will be another token, something like this. So if you talk about, the array should look like this: 2 to 1 comma plus, sorry, plus 4 1 comma plus comma 5 comma plus comma 6. Now we can make sure that, okay, these are the tokens and these are individual. Like, we can be sure that, okay, this plus operation should be performed on 2 to 1 plus 4 1 plus 4 1, right? So we have to do that. So we will get string in this format, in a string format, and we have to make it in this format. So we need to somehow make this tokenization. We need to make tokenization. So what is the first step? That once we get the input as a parameter, like in the function, forget about the logic, like how you're writing the code, and just logically think about it. Like, you need some way, right? Because otherwise, how will you know that where should I like perform plus operation, left and right? This is how we do it. Like, wherever the plus sign is, we need to left and right operands. We need to perform this operator on these operands, right? So we need a way. So we need to make it in tokenization. So that's a way. So which means this input we need to convert into this input, and we can call it what do you call it, like tokens token, sorry, let me just do this. Tokens like this. Okay, let me put here. Okay, so this is step one. Step one is token. Now we will perform the operations. For that, we have to understand a notation. Like, in there are three types of notation: prefix, infix, and post notation. Infix notation that we generally use is infix notation. Infix notation. This notation, the currently we are seeing, like, the human brain is wired to, like, what do you call it, solve it. Generally, it's infix notation, meaning we put operator in between two operands. It's called infix notation. But if we directly start applying the logic on this notation, like, for example, directly start putting our logic on this thing, it will be very complicated, because currently it's just like it's just a plus operation. So we can be like, yeah, so we will add like whenever we see operator, what we will do is left or right we will check, and then we will add them whatever the operation we need to perform. Like for example, in this case it's a plus operator, so we will perform plus operation, meaning we will add them both, and then we will put the result on these index, which is right. But what about this? For example, we know that uh, whenever we perform operations, we give first we solve the bracket, then we solve the division, then multiplication, then plus and minus, right? Whenever we solve any like expression in mathematics, we solve division first. Like division and multiplication come at the same level, which means they are higher priority. Like first we need to solve them, then we solve plus and minus. And because of that reason, we need to make sure that, for example, we can't just go from left to right, like start performing the operation. Rather than first we need to solve the division and multiplication, and because of that we need to convert it into postfix notation. Now what is postfix notation? I will explain you about little bit, but if you have not heard about it like at all, I will link some resources in the description. You please go and check it out. It's very like interesting thing, because for compiler and for computer, solving postfix notations and evaluating these kind of expression is very easy. Like for example, using stack, it can solve it in one go, like from order of n time it can solve them. Now what does postfix notation looks like? Well, for example, if I have to convert this into postfix notation, what it will looks like, as it name suggests. Like for example, it's postfix, meaning what will happen is that first operand will come, and then the like operation come. For example, if you talk about this, then what will happen is that this is how it will look like: 2 to 1 and 4 1 and then plus. This is how it will look like. That's a like a postfix notation. So if you have to convert this into, like for example, if this not this, so let me take this example and convert into postfix. So let's just, okay, so what will happen, as I said, operator comes after operands, meaning a and b, these are a b c are operands, plus plus are operators. So whenever we perform, like for example, a plus b, meaning a and b should add together. So this is infix notation, but in postfix, what will happen? A, B, and plus. Now it's saying that previous A and B should be add together. So it will look like something like this: A, B plus. Now this entire thing, A, B plus, is one token, and what is left? Plus C. So we add up. This will remain something like this. X. You can think of them uh, like this, plus C. Now again we can convert this into this, and what will it will look like? A, B, and operands. Operand 1, operand 2, and operator. So this entire thing, A, B plus, is one operand, and this C is one operand. So again, by the logic, by the rule, we say first left operand come, so A, B plus, and then second operand, which is C. So C will come, and then the operator. And what is the operator? Plus. So it will. So this is how it will looks like after postfix. Now the beauty of this is that in this we will first solve that like in one go. We can help like handle it. We can one evaluate this entire expression in just one go. This is just a simple example that I took. You can go in depth and understand how it will handle like multiplication and division, because if they were divided and multiplication were there in the expression, we first would have solved them, and then we would have worked on plus and minus, because they have less what you call precedence. I think that's the correct word. uh, so they have this, like for example, they have, basically we can say priority. Basically, for the like simplicity, we can say priority, meaning division and multiplication have higher priority. So if wherever you see division and multiplication, we need to first solve them. and then we work on negative on positive. So that's how it will look like. So we need to convert it. Or why do we have to convert into postfix notation? Because it's easier for us to write logic for that, and it's error prone, and we can, and it handle also division and multiplication also. Because otherwise, in this case, like how would you know, like in the next expression, like next token is division or not? So postfix handle that also. Plus it's easier to write code also. So that is the reason we are using postfix notation. Now I gave you a simple example. I know it's not the tough example, and I maybe it might be that if you have not heard about them before, it might be a little bit confusing for you, like how do I know, like I don't know it. When I was like solving problems, this usually comes in into the conversation that we need to use postfix notation. Then I read about it, like what is notation, what does it mean, and like why is it that we are converting this into that, and how it is helpful. Then I read about it, and I got the intuition behind it, like okay, that's why we are doing it. So when you solve the problem, you get stuck somewhere, and then you read about it. So that's why we need to convert into postfix notation. Now we can evaluate. How would we do that? Well, it's nothing simple. Now all we have to do is just start from the beginning. Whenever we see operator, so for example, this is the final result, a b, this is the final result. So now we go from one to second, and whenever you see operator, like for example this is plus, what does it mean? As I said, whenever you see operator, last this operator should uh, uh, operation perform on last two operands. So what are the last two operations? A, B. So we will add that A, B. What is the operation operator? Plus, so we will add A and B. Then we move on to next. It is C. So we don't do anything. Then we go to the C plus. And what does it mean? Last two operands C, and whatever the result of A, B. We will add them, and whatever the left in the stack, we will return that. So that's simple. Now we evaluating it, it's become very simple. We know in which order operations should be performed. So yeah, first step is tokenization. Second step is to convert these tokens into the postfix notation, and third step is to evaluate. That's it. Now we will write the logic, and I'm sure there will be some problems. There will be some things that you didn't understand about it. But as I said, read about it and come back it. You will get it better. Now first, that's the logical part of it. Now let me explain it to you. Let's sorry, not explain it to you. Let me show you what we are going to build. So this is the like application, and let me refresh it. So this is the application that we are going to build. Wait a minute, let me just drink the tea. So this is the application that we are going to build. Let's start from the very basic simple, like 5 and plus 4. What is the result? And when I click on it, 9, right? So it should give a 9. Great, it's 9. Then we say 9 plus we say 8. How much it is? 17. So it's 17. If we say minus 2, it should be 15. It is 15. We can write long or also, like for example 5 plus 1 plus 2, it should give us 18. It is 18. So we can write longer also. And if I want to clear, like for example this C can clear, so let me just let it clear everything. And let me give you a complicated example. 2 plus 5 and plus 10 divided by 5. What do you think result should be? As I said, we handle divide first. So in this case, it should be 10 divided by 5. How much is it? 2. So 2 plus 5, 7 plus 2, 9. It should be 9. But if we had infix notation, what we would think about it, like for example, from the left to right, we will go 7, and then we will do that 10 by 5. So 7, like the result still will be same, but otherwise we would have done 5 plus 10. 15, 17, and divided by 5. We would have that, and that would have been wrong. So the answer should be 5 to 7 and to 9. And boom, we have the 9 answer. So it handles multiple things also, right? So that's a demo application, and obviously it's not like I will explain you in the end. So this is what we are going to build. So let's go to the what do you call it, on JavaScript side. Let me explain you the JavaScript code. and here we go. Okay, I implemented it in a class-based manners. You can, it's not like mandatory that you do exactly same. The point is, you need two things. First, the expression, obviously. Second thing is this operator. As I said, remember I said that these star and multiplication and division have higher priority. So this is how we will decide the priority of them. Like it will come handy in the when we will implement the solution. So this is how we're deciding the plus means 1 and minus mean 1 and star and divided 2, meaning 1 above the plus and minus, which shows that it has higher priority basically. This is what it indicates. So let's start from here. Don't see anything, just focus on this thing. Let me just minimize this. Okay, so this calculate method, it is I implemented this calculate method. What did I say? First thing is we will get expression. So we have the expression and tokenize it meaning build it in chunks. Like you will get a string, but we want to make it into what do you call it here, informational chunks like tokens, so that we can understand. Okay, so like for example, if there is very long word like number 1 to 3 or like 35 and 305, something like that. So it's one, it considered it in a one token rather than just 135, right. So for that, I use this regex, which will do it for me. I don't know how it like behind the scenes is working. I just copied from the Google, to be honest, because I know what I wanted. So that's what I was like, this token will return and this token will return the array of those that I showed you in an example like this. I will give this in the example, I will give this as an expression and I will get this as an output, and that's what I want. So I will get in the, and I will store it in an expression. Then what was the next step? Convert that into postfix notation, and here I am converting it into postfix notation. I am taking that as an expression, and here is a function. I'm using output and stack. Well, if you have read about it, as I said when I was explaining it to you, you will know what am I doing. I'm doing nothing. I'm just going over every like token and making sure that it's in order. So, for example, this is where we are doing stack. What stack is holding? It will hold the operator, and we will maintain like low to high priority uh, operators. So whenever we see something like a operator which has lesser priority than already in the stack, then we will remove it and we will put into the output. You can read about it. You will get to understand it. If you don't like, trust me, let me know. I will explain in a separate video. But I think, as I said, like this is what we are doing, converting into the postfix. So even if I explain, it will be too much lengthy. So it's better that you understand it like into the depth from the other videos where okay, what does it mean. Like I gave you a hint, you go and read about it, and you will be able to understand that I'm going through every token. I'm checking stack is empty or not. If stack is not empty, I'm checking this thing like the operator, the current like whatever the operator is less than the whatever the operator that has on a stack top. Then we will remove it and put push into the output like whatever the we were building. For example, remember I told you that this is what it will look like, AB plus. So we are building that whenever and also we are checking if the current operator is like multiplication or division. We will still get them and put it into the stack, sorry, output, and remove from the stack. And whatever the operator was like currently, we will put it into the stack. And then we are checking if this is like left parenthesis, then we will put it in the stack. If it's right parenthesis, so whatever the values like in the stack, we will keep like removing it until we get the left parenthesis. Because it, as I said, we are building a solution where I can put the bracket, and as I said, bracket is way more higher than like division and multiplication. So whenever we see bracket, we will first solve that. So that's what we are doing here. uh, so that's it, and after that it will whatever the left in the stack, we will put it into the output and return the output, meaning that string that I showed to you, this is what we will return. This is what we will return. It will build this. So this is what we will return. And now once I got that, from here I will get it into postfix, and then all I have to do is evaluate postfix. What does evaluate mean? Meaning now I have to just run from one by one and perform the operations. What did I tell you about performing operation? Whenever we see the operator is not a number, we know that perform this is a number and convert, like for example, remember we are dealing with a string, so we need to convert into the number. So we are doing that, and else if it's not, it's a number, then it's not a number, then what else is it could be, it should be an operator, right? Plus, minus, whatever. So we are taking the last two numbers from the stack. Remember I said if this is operator, last two number, pop the last two number, a and b. So we are taking them in a and b order, and we are performing this operation. If the case is a token is a, like sorry, token is operator plus, then we are doing stack dot plus a plus b, whatever the result, we are putting that into that. And that's it. That's exactly what we are doing, and we will keep doing it until the stack is empty. And in the end, the stack will be have only one value, and we just pop it and return it. So we will get the return value here, and whenever we are using, we will return the evaluated value. Now that's a logical part where I give you the expression. Now it's not simple like a DSA problem, right? So we will have to implement UI, because user will not give us like console. It will, so we need to build an like a UI. So for that, let's think about it now. Nothing fancy. This is the UI of it. As you can see, this is the UI. Simple. So like the display button, like display window, then these buttons, clear and left, right parenthesis, divide, multiplication. It's just a little bit CSS. It looks good, and that's it, right? Now we need these values. So let's talk about this. So this is it. I've given IDs to them, like here, and simple. If you know JavaScript, like all I'm doing is little bit of DOM manipulation. So for example, I given everyone the ID, so which means I can get their values. So let's start here. First is I get display element, meaning where I'm displaying the element, like result. So this is the div. By default it has 0. So this is I'm getting it, and expression is 0, meaning nothing is inside that. Like here, the expression is like nothing. In the expression there is nothing. Then I have selected all the button. These are all buttons. These all are buttons, and I am putting, and sorry, let me just remove this console.log. And on the button, all the buttons, I am putting event listener, click event listener, meaning whenever I will click on it, something should happen. And what should happen? Well, first thing is I am taking that value. So for example, if I click on 7, what I am doing is that the value of 7, the 7 value I need, because I need to know that okay, on this button I click, meaning that event triggered, and whatever the value was there, I need that. If I click to, I need that value inside the code. So this is what I'm doing. So this is what I'm doing. I'm taking the text content, whatever the value of button is, so it will give me that. Now there are two three type of buttons. First is clear, which means if I click on this clear button, which means it should clear everything whatever it is. So that's exactly what I'm doing. Expression is nothing, I am putting expression empty thing. And display dot text content, which means remember that div here, I am taking that, and currently there's 772. Whenever I click, what am I doing is I'm clearing it. So whatever the displays, make it to 0. This is what it is doing. So that's what this button will do. If I click on clear button, and if I click on equal button, meaning this button, 5 plus 2, if I click equal, it should trigger this calculator. Remember that we build calculator class, it should do that, and it should print result. This is it, exactly what. So this is where we will call that calculator class, which means not call meaning but build an object. So if the class contains equal list, meaning I click on equal button, So first I will be calculator class, and I will pass the expression, whatever the expression inside the display. I will pass that, then result will come. I will calculate it, because as I said, calculate method will return the result, and I will show the result here. That's it. And then I will expression to, like, this result will be number. So I'm converting it into string, and I'm putting expression. So for example, remember, like this, if 7 plus 5 is 12, so whatever the result is 12, so this will be displayed here, and it is because this line, sorry, here this line, what the result is this line. And if the something error comes, like for example, I will explain it in a while, but just think about this. If else, if otherwise, what is this? Other than that, if I'm not clicking on this button or this button, whatever I'm doing, for example, plus 2 minus 6, it should append into that, like keep appending it, which means I just want to keep performing the operation like this. You just keep doing it, which means whatever the current result of expression is, just append the value. Whatever the button I click, get the value, which is I'm getting here, and I will appending it and displaying it, meaning I'm showing it to screen. That's it. That's all I'm doing. Now comes to this. So yeah, that's the solution and basic styling that I did, which mean not, I mean, I didn't code it. I just copied from Google because it was easier. My main focus was to build this working, and this will give me the result. You can check it. It is good. Now there are some problems though. Let me just, so I hope you are able, first of all, I hope you are able to understand the solution. um, I understand that this postfix notation will might confuse you, so please read about it. It's literally simple. If you first, it will take some time. If you are like first time you are hearing about this thing, it is simple. Sorry, it is going to be hard, obviously. But once you get to understand that this is how you learn new things. For me, I have heard about it before, so it wasn't like that much difficult for me. But still, I went through this one more time, so just to make sure that I get it, why it is working, why not, and how you are writing the solution. Okay, there are lead code questions also for these, uh, converting it into infix to postfix. So you can go through that, and after that it's just simple. Just take the value from the input, like sorry, from the UI, and build an expression and pass it to the calculator class, which is what we exactly first like first we decided that forget about the UI and everything. Just think that you are getting an expression as a function, in the function as argument, and you just use that and build your logic, so it become easier. Now you just can implement it into whatever the UI you want. So we build the UI, put the event listener, and we just did the, like, we are just calling it and doing the whatever the logic that we build, it is returning the result, and we are just showing it to the user. Now there are some problems those in this solution. First of all, I'm assuming, like, this is like a, what do you call it, best case scenarios. Like, I'm assuming that the as a calculator user, I know what I'm doing, so I have to put the uh, right expression inside that. I can't just put randomly anything, and I'm not uh, checking error prone. Like, it's not error prone. Like, for example, I can make it fail if I want to. So make sure you know that you can, like, you have to put the if conditions or error handling in place. Like, for example, um, like, you can't click multiple operators in the same, like, in one go. Like, for example, I can just put plus plus operation 2 times. It should not do that, but it will do it right now. Like, I'm not checking that because my goal was to build a simple calculator, uh, like that, just solve the problem. Like, for example, I know that I have to put on the user. We are in this solution is dependent on the user. Like, user is using it and user knows what he's doing. So that was the idea, and so it's not either prone. For example, right now if I go there, I can make it fail. For example, I can do this and it will give me error, not a number, and it's a number. I can clear it plus, and it will give me not a number. This is a error that it is happening. If I go like this and do this, not a number, it will give me error. See, it is giving me error. So if I'm if I know what I'm doing, like user, then I have to put the right expression. It will evaluate it for me, and it will do calculate it in a right way. But if I messed up, it will give me an error. So it is a challenge for you guys. So you can do through if else handling, like you need to check up, like okay, the last one was like operator, whether you can do one more thing also, like the remember the step that I made said tokenization, then convert it into postfix, then calculate it. So you can do one more thing, whether this expression is right or not, meaning there are proper like commas. You can check, like using this tag based solution, where you check that. And second thing is, make sure there is no conjugative operators. That should not be possible, because you can't just do that. And what else can you check? I think, yeah. And there shouldn't be special sign, because we are only supporting plus minus division and multiplication. That's all we are supporting. So yeah, there are certain things that you can do, uh, to prevent, make it more like robust. But yeah, that's it. And other than that, what else there was to that I need to explain it to guys? I don't think there was anything, to be honest. I will provide the GitHub code of this. And what I wanted to make it PWA also. I might do it in the next video, where I will make the PWA application of it, because I want to understand how PWA works. And I guess that's it in this video, guys. It was my first video, and obviously let me know, like, how do you like it? Do you want me to like code it? Do I think it also took so much longer time to explain it to you? But I'm sure if I coded it, it would have taken 2 hours of coding, and I didn't want to do that because there was nothing exciting about it. I know that there are some concepts that you might be unfamiliar, like postfix notation, like notation in general. So read about them and then continue this video. And I guess that's it in this video, and I will see you in the next video. I'm trying to improve it, the quality of these videos. Trust me, I just didn't get the time. So yeah, let's see in the next videos. But it would be very challenging for me that I have to make a project video every weekend, and it's going to be very hard, but I will do it. So yeah, let's see what happens anyway. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, guys. And again, happy new year. Build something, learn something, and share it. Thank you so much.